Not to mention, let's be real here, the stink factor. If someone just used the bathroom, you have another option to go to. So last week we asked 7 other families what was the best rig for their RV life, and you guys heard all sorts of answers, from travel trailers to Airstreams to fifth wheels. So today we figured that we would sit down and talk about why we chose our rig. So first off, before we go inside, because it's super windy out here, I just want to let you know we have a 2017 Keystone Sprinter 293 FWBHS, which basically means it's a 36-foot fifth wheel made by Keystone that is a bunkhouse. And then we tow it with what, babe?
A black truck.
We tow it with a 2014 Ram 3500 that we have put airbags in, as well as it's got a leveling kit on it. So it looks, like you guys can probably see, it looks like it's riding a little high, and that's because it is. It's probably got about a 2-inch lift on it, if you want to say that. But we have been traveling in this full time for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. All right, it's windy, so let's go inside, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Hey guys, my name's James.
And I'm Ashley.
Last year we sold our house and we're traveling across the country with our kids.
Hi, my name's Goose, and this is Maverick. Come join us!
So when talking about this lifestyle, we knew we had to downsize from like 3,500 square feet to like 350 square feet, give or take.
It was a big adjustment. 10%. Yeah. We got 10%.
So we knew that obviously we were not going to be able to take everything, and that there were going to be adjustment periods for everything. And I think if you go into it with that mindset, it's a lot easier, rather than being like, we're going to get in there and it's going to be amazing. Because everything has an adjustment period.
Yeah.
That being said, when we were looking at RVs, we knew that we wanted something with a bunkhouse.
We wanted to minimize that adjustment as much as possible, while in my mind, even though I knew we weren't going to immediately jump into boondocking and going out in these crazy places, I still wanted to be small as we could, so we had that option in the future.
But at the same time, we also wanted to provide our kids with their own place, a place where they can go, that they can call their own, that they can have privacy, that is just their little slice of heaven.
So a 2-bedroom rig, whether that had been a Class A, a Class C, anything, 2-bedroom rig was like our #1 priority.
And we were talking something with a door, not a curtain. Because while that works for some people, at that point in our life, we knew that our oldest needed that door, that privacy that she felt was her own.
Well, and our youngest is still, even to this day, taking naps during the day. Like, she's actually napping right now. And so if we didn't have that door, it would make that whole napping schedule far more difficult. Now, we have met people who know that they have young ones that nap in their bedroom, the master bedroom, while they're taking naps. And so, you know, there are workarounds. But for us, we prioritized 2 bedrooms with doors on them to give us all our privacy when we needed it, because there are some times when you're living with people you love where you just need some space.
That they're amazing and you're like, you're so amazing, I can't handle it anymore. I need to step away from your awesomeness. It happens all the time to him.
Yep. So beyond the 2 bedrooms, our second must, which might actually be our only other must, was we wanted it to feel spacious and open, which is why I think ultimately we went with a fifth wheel, because we love the high ceilings. It gives you that false sense of space even though you're in a small area. We looked at ones that had opposing slides, but it just felt so massive, not to mention it usually gets more expensive when you do that. But the key thing that was different about this layout than any of the other rigs that we had seen was the open concept of the master bedroom with the door in the center. So from here, sitting in the couch, you can see all the way up to that end and down to this end with that open door in the middle. When the door's on the side and you have that hallway, it just feels almost like a waste of space, because why do you need a hallway when you can just have a door going in there? So that hallway just felt like it wasted a bunch of real estate for us. So the shower sink open in the master bedroom up top was key. Like, we saw that and we fell in love with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice because the pooper, like, I don't know what everybody else calls it, the toilet area, has its own door, your own little space, so that you still feel like you have that privacy. But the shower is open, it's right there. Yeah, at first it was a little weird being like, okay, I'm lying in bed and you're in the shower. Huh.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah. Anyway, So, I mean, obviously there's just little things that you get used to, but in all reality, we loved the fact that it didn't feel closed off. Like, it didn't make the bedroom feel smaller.
Yeah, for a 36-foot rig of all the ones we've looked at, this felt one of the most open with the 2 bedrooms. Obviously, if you have the mid-bunk or just a single bedroom, having that 360 window panorama in the back really opens it up, but that just wasn't really an option for any of the layouts we found. It just didn't work for us. The other, not must, but like wish lists were, I really wanted an auto leveling system. Not that I'm that lazy and don't want to go out there. I mean, I kind of am. But just being able to have that auto leveling system gave you the flexibility of being able to park in more unlevel areas without having to use the Lego blocks. So it just makes it more convenient. We only need to get out those Lego blocks and leveling things when we're pretty uneven, when the ground is really sloped, versus when you're in a trailer, your stabilizers aren't levelers. So you can't actually lift your rig up with those stabilizers. You can only put them down to stabilize you. Ours are different. Ours actually lift you up and level you. So that was another big thing that I really liked. The other not must, but wish list.
The wish list was 2 bathrooms, or at least 2 potties, because we have 2 kids, and I know that there are people who have more kids and they make it work with one, but for us it's like, oh, potty training and just knowing that, like, instantaneous, I have to go potty.
I know, I would say even when you're not potty training, young kids, like, as soon as they feel potty, I gotta go. So if me or Ashley or somebody is using the restroom and we just started, then we didn't want to have any accidents. So it's just more, not to mention, let's be real here, the stink factor. If someone just used the bathroom, you have another option to go to. There's nothing worse than sitting down on a toilet and it's warm and you get that smell. So let's just be honest, the 2 bathrooms, 2 toilets is amazing. And the other plus was the kids' bathroom has the tub, so the kids still take tubs in there. I'm just being real. Let's be real here.
We're sitting here just being like, let's talk about poop.
I mean, everybody poops. It's real life. We are totally real here.
It's about poop, baby. Comes out of you and me.
Not staying in.
No, it's not.
So another big question that you guys have been asking is, what have we done to make the rig more livable? And that's also the question we asked to those 7 other families. Like, what modifications had they done? So we've already covered a lot of this in previous videos, but I'll just do a quick recap. A recap. Speaking of potty.
Poop on the mat.
Recap of the ones we've done in the past. So we added 5 Battleborn batteries to give us 500 amp hours of lithium power. We added 4 solar panels, which are 160 watts each, Zamp solar panels on the roof, and then we have the Victron MultiPlus 3000 inverter, which we wire directly into the breaker panel, which then feeds every appliance in here, except for, no, honestly, I think it feeds everything. We were somehow able to do that. I don't know. I don't remember how we did it, but the microwave works, the air conditioner works. Oh, it's because in our breaker box, it's pre-wired for 2 AC units, but we only have 1. So if we did ever add that second AC unit, we wouldn't be able to run it off the inverter. What's going on? What did I miss?
Maverick's shushing you.
Guys. Okay. Let's talk a little quieter. So we did all the electrical upgrades. Obviously, we painted and wallpapered everything. Like, we got the shiplap wallpaper back here. Painted everything this 2-tone white and dark blue, a charcoal color. Charcoal is what it's called, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be...
We turned out a lot more patriotic than we planned on being. We weren't planning on being red, white, and blue. We were planning on being red, white, and gray. But we really loved the way it looks.
It was
chimney.
It was supposed to be like this gray, black... Like, I didn't want it too dark, but I didn't want it too bright. I wanted something to kind of give it a little pop. And it looked amazing on the, the paint cans and stuff. And then we put it on the doors, and James goes, before I keep going with this...
This is blue, and we're going to be, like, America!
Yeah, he's like, we need to think about this. And so we did one little area and decided we really liked the color. It just, I don't know. And it doesn't feel... like America.
Yeah,
like,
it's not like we have stars and stripes everywhere.
Like, it just kind of feels, I don't know, it's just nice, and it feels homey, and the blue kind of gives you that, like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't want to go with the
using a lot of, like, nothings, because I'm tired.
She's talking in emojis. Oh. We didn't want to go all white, even though we've seen a lot of rigs which are pure white and it feels so much more open.
And and it's not that they're not beautiful.
We just didn't like that sterile feel.
Yeah.
We wanted some color and some contrast in there. Speaking of paint though, before we leave that, one of the things that we painted was the shiplap, or not shiplap, the pallet board table right here that we built. And this was made out of total scrap wood, spur of the moment video, spur of the moment idea, which we actually made a whole video about. If you want to check it out, you can check it out there. And I will actually link up all of our renovation videos, our full-on tour videos, and because we have gone over this before, but this was just a what we've done recently and why we chose this rig kind of video. So I know
that, and we've had a lot of new subscribers lately, and we just kind of want to give you the rundown, I guess.
That's true. So yeah, and thank you for all of the new subscribers, by the way. This has been a crazy month. This has been amazing.
Speaking of DIY, we redid the stairs because I hated having carpet on the fronts of my stairs. That just seems odd because it was carpet and then hardwood. So it
didn't make sense.
Yeah. And so we redid it. I had found this thing on Pinterest like a long time ago, and I told James someday I'm going to do something like this in my house. And he told me, yeah, right, good luck.
She suggested painting it to begin with, and first off, I just didn't think that would last as long as getting real hardback book covers. But then once we ripped off the carpet, we realized that it wasn't really even an option because it was particle board.
Yeah, which
we would have had to try and sand it to get it smooth. It just wouldn't have worked very well.
It would look really bad.
So we ended up going with what I thought would work best, and we found a garage sale that had a bunch of old books, which were like perfect because they were travel oriented and Reader's Digest of stories that she loved from the past. So again, that's going to be in the reno video if you want to see that. But
it was so perfect, and like he put out that idea, and I'm like, I don't know, and then I kept thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, that's doable. We could totally do that.
And then speaking of the stairs and the books, we actually utilized those books and those pages to make Ashley's dream coffee table.
Yes. Coffee table and cutting board work area.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So our coffee table was getting dinged and scratched. I mean, it's a $30 coffee table, so it happens.
But for $30,
$30, it's the best.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh, we love it. Like when we go back to Sticks and Bricks, I will probably take this in my house because it's been so convenient. It's one of those ones where you just lift it up and you can have a workspace or eating or whatever. But you can also have storage, so that's where our blankets for the couch and everything go.
Everything in RV life has to serve at least two functions, I feel like. And so this not only is a storage area, a coffee table, a footrest, but then it folds up to a breakfast eating area and homework area. So this has like been one of our best investments. Yep. The last upgrade that we've ever talked about is the crib. That was actually one of our earlier upgrades that we did because Maverick, when we started traveling, was only 7 months old, still taking multiple naps a day, and obviously needed to be in some sort of a crib or pack and play. And actually for how many months at the beginning, she was in a pack and play on the floor in the girls' room. And our plan was, oh yeah, we'll just fold it up in between naps and all day. It never got folded up. It just sat on the floor in the room and it took up all of their play space. It almost negated the point of them having their own room.
Yeah.
So we actually got the idea from other RVers out there, which is what's great about these kind of videos, is hopefully we're spurring ideas in your mind to give you ways to make your travel life better. So we got the idea to make the upper bunk into her crib. So I got some nice smooth wood, painted it white to match, and made it looks exactly like a crib, only it's on the whole upper bunk. So it allows her to be up there, be safe, and she actually loves it. Like she goes up there and plays up there. Mm-hmm. She wakes up in the morning and doesn't really want to get out. Like, so some people might think it's kind of weird that we have her up in that upper bunk, but she absolutely loves it up there.
Yes. And because she didn't need the entire thing, it also created more space for me to be able to utilize for storage and just organization. Yeah. So as you RV, you realize that some things are working, some things aren't, and when you get to a spot where you can make those changes, it's always nice. So that's what we are doing right now. We have made a couple of upgrades. I've done some Insta stories on them because I was so excited when I saw them. Like, oh my goodness, be still my heart, which is kind of sad because I was like, ah!
So we realized that when we were traveling, a lot of times we wouldn't be able to put our slide on travel days, but we would be stopping and wanting to make sandwiches or whatever, and our pantry was covered up by the slide. And the reason we did that is because the cabinet that was not covered by the slide just didn't have enough shelves. Never dawned on...
Well, it also held our raincoats, which we hated.
Yeah, but it just never dawned on me that, we could convert that raincoat cupboard into a pantry by just adding more shelves. So that's exactly what we did, is I added a couple more shelves in there. So now all of our food and bread and peanut butter and other canned goods are always available, even when our slides are all the way in. And then on the other side, we added another shelf so that way Ashley could organize the kids' homeschooling stuff better, as well as all of the kitchen utensils and whatnot. So it's just little things like that, like adding shelves.
Well, and because we added shelves, I was able to move things around, which then I was able to move things out of the room that I didn't want in there and utilize more space in there for the girls and make it feel, to me, less cluttered.
Yeah. Now, the only caveat I want to put on this is that you got to make sure when you are adding these things and making modifications, you want to make sure that you're not adding so much that you're going over your gross vehicle weight capacity, which we are like right on that cusp. So we're always monitoring, okay, we made these modifications, we probably should get rid of this or tweak this. So you don't want to just keep adding and adding and adding, and you don't want to use really heavy materials. Like our table I was actually a little sketchy about because it is probably about 10 pounds heavier than our previous table. So we made sure that when we added that weight that we were trying to get rid of some weight, because when you're full-time living, even when you're not full-time living, it is very easy to go over your trailer weight capacity, whether it be your tires or your axles or the amount of weight you're putting on the bed of your truck, your payload. So those are all things you want to make sure you're paying attention to when you're doing these upgrades.
And the other thing that you also want to pay attention to is that you are not putting nails into somewhere that you should not be putting nails into, or having something holding weight that probably isn't going to hold that weight.
Or even worse, drilling into something where there's wires or things behind.
Yeah, exactly.
So make sure that if you have no idea, ask some people, do some research, or just hire someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, but basically what we're saying is pay attention to what you're doing because making mistakes can be costly. So obviously there are still upgrades I would love to make. We always, when we're visiting with people who live in RVs or who own RVs, any of that stuff, even in houses, I get ideas. I'm like, oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, that'd be so nice.
Or the RV people keep coming out with new gadgets and things that would be so much nicer, make life easier.
I mean,
so
yeah,
there's
sure.
always, the grass is always greener on the other side. But we've talked about it. Honestly, I can't imagine a better rig for us right now. I mean, I can, but then there's caveats that go with it. Like, I'd love a toy hauler so I can put the dirt bikes in the back and whatnot, but then we'd be even longer and the kids wouldn't have their own. So there's always these negatives, pros and cons. So I honestly think the best rig for our RV life is what we have right now.
Yeah, and just with all the upgrades that we've made to it, it would be hard to sell it. I mean, there's so many memories in here, and just, I don't know, it would be hard. And you're able to take your dirt bike anyway. We made an upgrade to the back so he could. Lord help us. We had to bring the girl along.
The crazy thing is speaking of memories and whatnot, this is the longest we have ever lived in a single house, except for the one other house.
Yeah.
Ever in the 5 houses that we've lived in, or 5 places that we've lived in, I think, this has been our second longest rig that we've ever been in. I think it's 5. 2, 3,
4, 5. This is 6.
Six places. So there's only one other place we've lost. So this is like, other than that other house, this is more home than any place we've ever been. It's crazy. If you have any other questions, let us know down below in the comments. I always try and respond to as many of those as I can. But remember, guys, stay positive. Get out there. Life is an adventure. So make some memories.